welcome to the show, all 11 of you. It's me, Jonathan, and my good buddy, Cody. How you doing, Cody Akins?
Oh man, it's another day in paradise. You know how it goes.
No, I don't, actually, because I don't feel like I've been in paradise since the Commanders game.
Nah, man, it's been hell, hasn't it?
It's been the worst, Cody. I don't think any team has ever been as bad as the Chiefs are right now. Ever. Ever.
Except for when the Chiefs were like 2-14 and,
2012.
yeah.
Yeah. Or 5-5 in 2015. Or, all the teams that have a worse record than them.
Yeah,
this year.
how about them Cowboys? I mean, they beat up on the Raiders last night, but I mean, that's beating up on the Raiders.
I mean, that's like you used to. There used to be certain kids that if you got into a fight with in school, you didn't want to beat them up that bad because it looked bad. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time when I was in the 3rd grade, there was this kid, Matt Amon, in my neighborhood. He was a little shit, just a shit talking little monster. I hated him. And it was the first time I'd ever heard like somebody like say something about having sex with your mom, that level. And I just lost it. But here's the thing. I'm not that big, obviously. I'm very average and always been an average sized person. But he was a little dude, little runt. And I just started beating the shit out of him, just wailing on him. And halfway through it, I realized this was a bad look. like, first of all, nobody heard what he said. All they saw was, because I had some friends with me, all they saw was me going, the fuck, and just like lose it and go over and just start beating the crap out of this little kid. By the way, he was in the 3rd grade. I was a senior in high school. But the point is, no, we were both in elementary school. He was in 1st grade. I was in 8th. Whatever. We were both in 3rd grade. Point is, it felt bad. It didn't feel like a good victory. You know what I mean? That's how the Cowboys should probably feel today. It's like, yeah, we beat the worst team in the league, huh? Hardly anybody does that all the time. I mean, those guys could have beaten the Broncos last week.
I mean, what, 7 other teams have done it so far, yeah. I think, this season?
All right, but we're not here to talk about the Raiders. That's as
Oh, we will hear in a little bit, though.
Yeah.
I specifically grabbed that clip for part of that.
Okay. Well, we will talk about the Raiders. We'll talk about the Chiefs real quick. I have a thing I want to do called the Big Butt. A little bit I'm trying out where I'm going to give you the facts of the Chiefs season. And the facts are not that bad. But there's always a big butt right in the middle of it. And then we're going to decide how big that butt is. Is it Sir Mix-a-Lot level big butt? Or is it Jane Fonda level big butt? I'm just referencing the song I Like Big Butts. Technically, Baby Got Back. All right, so here's what I'll say about the Chiefs game. It's disappointing, to say the least. Cody, very rarely do my feelings after a Chiefs game match the text that I've sent you during the game. You know this, because I've seen sometimes we've gotten on after I've been texting you during a game, and you're like, that's not how you were at all during the game. What happened? And I'm just like, no, I'm fine now. Like, I thought about it, and philosophically, I think that we're just kind of in Plato's cave right now. We're seeing the shadows on the wall, but are the Chiefs the shadow, or are they the flame? Something like that. That is not how I felt after that game. I felt I might have actually been angrier, after that game than I was even sending to you in text. I was so angry, I didn't even want to watch the Sunday Night Football game. I was so angry the next day. I woke up and I went, this is why people drink. This is why people drink. I understand why my dad, who is a St. Louis Cardinals football fan, drank. I get it.
I was so angry that I cleaned the kitchen table that Laura's been asking me to clean for 3 months right after the game.
Yeah.
And then I fired one of my technicians the day after.
Because of the game?
I mean, I was already pissed. I was walking that razor's edge, and he pissed me off a little more, and I was like, "Gone, you're out, fired, done."
All right, let that be a warning. If you go into Akins PC Repair in Belton, and he seems a little frazzled and shorthanded. You don't need to ask why. You know it's because of the Chiefs, and he just couldn't help it. That was the guy like a Broncos fan. That would do it. That would do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't work with a Broncos fan. I've worked with all stripes of the political spectrum. I've worked with Patriots fans, but I gave them a break because I was in Boston. It's not their choice. They were born into it.
Where's the offending piece of?
I don't think I could handle a Broncos fan at this point in my life.
Because I'm a man of my word. I want this to go on the record because I don't want to sound like a pansy. I have, since the Mahomes era, had a long-standing bet with a Broncos fan, a dear friend of mine who lives in Colorado. And after every game, the loser has to wear a hat from the winning team. And we didn't count it when they were playing our backup squad last year because
That's fair.
they were playing our backup squad.
Yeah.
And he's had to wear that hat for like every game for the last 7 years.
They lost. Oh, Cody.
I had to wear it this time.
At least it's not orange.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I purposely got black and white because I wanted it to look not as dumb. At least it goes with the red. But this is me honoring my bet. We did lose. So.
I also like how far it comes down on your head to hide your shame. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but to be fair too, also not everyone has 12 inches of forehead like you.
It's been a long time since somebody made a big head joke about me. They didn't make big head jokes in Boston. JB doesn't do it on air. Yeah,
I'm bringing it back.
That was nice. You know what? That made me feel like it's 2019 all over again. All right, so here's the deal with the Chiefs. We could go into the stats, we can go into the statistics. We're going to do a little bit of that in the big butt. Here's the analogy I'm going to use for this season and why they're at 5-5. Have you ever heard of space depression?
No, I've heard of seasonal depression.
It's very similar. So few people know this, but when astronauts go out into space, they see the Earth. They have a view no one else has ever had, very few people have had. And I'm not talking about the people in the ISS in orbit. I'm talking about the guys that go up to the moon. And then when they come back, they inevitably suffer severe depression, suicidal levels of depression. And the reason why is because they just did something that no one else has done. They went to the moon and drove a car on it. How are they supposed to get excited about driving a car to work, right? They went up on the moon and played golf. How are they supposed to get excited about 18 holes on a Sunday, right? And I think that analogy applies to the Chiefs in this way. Last year, they nearly did something that only no teams have ever done. Only 3 teams have ever been to back-to-back-to-back Super Bowls, and the Chiefs were one of them. Wait, no, 4 teams, I guess, and the Chiefs were one.
I was about to say the Bills.
I forgot about the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Yeah, and then the Chiefs were the 4th, and they were the only one that had a chance to win 3 in a row, and they blew it. It blew up in their face. And I think I said at the beginning of the season when they lost 2 games that the existential funk that hits you when you lose that 3rd Super Bowl, the so-called Super Bowl hangover, that can't just be a casual hangover. That has to be you're still hungover and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday and you drank on Saturday. Like that's the kind of hangover that makes your eyes feel like sandpaper. It's the kind of funk that destroys your confidence because you're so close to doing something no one else has ever done and you blew it. With the Chiefs, I think that's where they're at. How are you supposed to get excited about winning a game in October when for the last 3 seasons you've been chasing greatness? It was easy to do in 2022 because you'd lost the year before. You didn't make the Super Bowl the year before. And Tyreek Hill was traded. It was a new look, a new team. It was exciting. You needed to go out and prove something. 2023, they obviously had some problems. Ended the season 11-6. Receivers were dropping balls. Mahomes had to figure out a new way to play so that he could will the team to victory. And then in 2024, you were chasing the three-peat. But on top of that, all of your receivers were injured. Pacheco was out for a good chunk of the season. Who the hell was playing left tackle? All that stuff. Then you lose that Super Bowl. You're not chasing the three-peat anymore. You don't have any excuses. But at the same time, you don't have anything left to prove. And I think that's what they're dealing with. How do you drive to work on a Monday morning when you were just on the fucking moon? That's where they're at. Hopefully they'll get over it. But I said this on my show on Monday. I'll stand by it. If I had to bet right now whether the Chiefs would win out the rest of the season and then go on to win the Super Bowl versus miss the playoffs, I would bet all my money on them winning the Super Bowl over missing the playoffs. That just seems unfathomable. Yeah, they have the game against the Colts, but the rest of the season, not nearly as hard. The hardest team they have to face after the Colts is the Broncos again. But by that point, the Broncos might be like, we don't care. Like, we sewed up the 1 seed or we sewed up the division. Big deal. You know what? Let's let the Chiefs whoop our ass and gain some confidence like they did for us last season.
Who knows? They might throw the game so the Bengals get kicked out of the playoffs. Like
who knows? Or the Chargers. I don't know.
Who got accused of doing that last year?
I think it was the Ravens. I don't know. So that's where they're at. They're astronauts back on Earth, and it's depressing. It's unfulfilling, and it sucks. All right, we're gonna do a thing called Big Butt, where I am going to give you a fact and then give you a huge butt. And then we are going to weigh how heavy that butt is. Sound good?
All right.
Here is Big Butt number 1. Patrick Mahomes is still a monster by every nerd stat that we have. He's third in the league in QBR at 73. He has 2,625 passing yards. He's got 18 touchdowns. He's only got 6 picks, which seems incredible. But it's true. He only has 6 of them. And he sits in the top 3 in EPA per play at about, 0.2. So he's third. He's doing great in the nerd stats. On a play-by-play basis, the Chiefs' offense is third in the NFL in EPA per play, and their scoring drive percentage this year is over 52%. Now, just to make it clear how good that is, that's the second best they've ever been. The only exception is 2018. The offense, by all the nerd stats, is as good as it was or almost as good as it was in 2018. Is only second to that year. But this is still the worst Mahomes season in terms of results. They are 5-5. It is their worst start since 2015, before obviously he was even on the team. They are 0-5 in one-score games after going undefeated in those last year. And they are 1-5 against teams with winning records. Their one win coming against the Lions, who lately haven't looked that great either. So the numbers say that Mahomes is still elite. The numbers say that the Chiefs still have a good offense. But the win-loss column says this is the first year where Mahomes' greatness is not enough. And maybe he's not that great. It's just counting stats. It's just nerd stats. Whereas situationally, he's really letting the team down. How big is that butt, Cody?
Nicki Minaj. Now look, a couple of things to think about is one, he started the season without wide receivers 1 and 2.
Okay.
Worthy got knocked out in the first game, and we were without him for a couple of weeks. Rice, we were without for 6 weeks due to his suspension. So, and then we get this wonderful left tackle in Simmons,
Mm-hmm.
who mysteriously disappears for several weeks.
Right.
And our offense still is a powerhouse without 3 of our key components.
Yep.
I would say that yes, our motivation probably took a hit. The season was a rough start for sure, but let's be real. Let's be real here. This NFL season's nuttier than a squirrel turd right now.
That is very accurate. I mean, I watched the second half of Sunday Night Football. Wait, what was Sunday Night Football? Was that the Eagles?
Yeah, Eagles Lions.
Eagles Lions. Yeah, not great. Those are two teams that are supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. And what did the score end up being? Was it 10-7?
So it was really low, but they blamed the wind.
They blame the wind. Sure, it's wind because there's never wind any other time.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's been a weird year.
I mean,
it's been strange.
Honestly, I believe with the exception of like 3 or 4 teams, I still believe that anyone could win it all this year. Count the Browns out, count the Jets out. I don't know if the Falcons are looking the greatest right now either, and the Raiders are definitely out.
Yeah.
But I mean, teams that are complete bungholes one week are stars the next. I mean, look what the Steelers did to Indianapolis,
and then
old Aaron Rodgers did they
they
ever
won.
confirm if he?
Yeah, he's out for the next couple of weeks. Mason Rudolph.
I was about to say they confirm he broke his wrist.
Yeah. I don't know if his broken wrist. I should check that, but he's out for the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
But I mean, the Chargers gave us a run for their money, or a run for the Chiefs' money. Then we play the Jaguars, and it's an all-out brawl. But then the Jaguars come out and just pound the Chargers. I mean, no one knows how the season's going to go.
Okay. And so back to the butt. You said it was Nicki Minaj. Now, maybe I didn't explain this well enough, and I know that sounded a little condescending. I'm blaming myself. The butt would be the weight of the butt, meaning, yeah, they look great, but if it's a heavy butt, that matters more.
Oh.
So heavy ass, heavy butt, or are you saying this is, I don't know, Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
No, we should not. By the way, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make it about women. I know I said Jane Fonda earlier. I'm not doing that.
That's why I said my butt. How much weight does my butt?
Your butt. Oh, is that what you're doing? I couldn't hear you.
My butt.
Okay, so it's your level of a butt. So you think the Chiefs still have a great shot of pulling this off? Okay.
Yeah.
So then continuing this, second big butt. Andy Reid's 5-5 record. So Andy Reid has been here before. In 2006, his Eagles were 5-5. He lost Donovan McNabb. They had Jeff Garcia. They ripped off 5 straight wins. They finished 10-6. They won the division. That's not happening for the Chiefs this year, but they won the division, and then they won the playoff game. In 2015, the Chiefs started 1-5, then won 10 straight to finish 11-5, and beat the snot out of the Texans, and got their first playoff win in, I can't remember, it was like 20 years or something like that. It was ridiculous. So Andy Reid's been here before, and every time he's been here, the teams have turned around and made the playoffs. But this year might be different because this Chiefs team is just not just off to a slow start. They're structurally worse in spots that matter. They are 1-4 on the road, 1-2 in the division, 2-4 against the AFC as a whole, and again 1-5 against winning teams, sitting third in the AFC West behind the 9-2 Broncos and 7-4 Chargers. Those older Reed teams were surging. They had house money. This group is coming off 3 straight Super Bowl runs. They look tired and would have to do its damage as a road wild card against better records and fresher legs. How likely is it that this team makes the playoffs? And if they do, makes a run in the playoffs. How big is that butt, Cody?
Man, I have seen Kansas City do some wonderful things. And I think about that playoff run that led to our win in Super Bowl 54, where at halftime against the Texans, we're down 24-0. And all we can think is, shit, here we are again.
Yep.
We're going to lose it all. And then you just see a resurgence, a beast that we didn't know Kansas City was capable of being. A game where they got a post, sorry guys, we scored so much we ran out of fireworks. Yeah. And then again, we watch against the Titans. As the Titans come out, they jump ahead. We think, oh man, it's over. And then we come out and pull it off again. And then as we go into the third quarter of the Super Bowl, where it looks like San Francisco's really got our number.
We were in
the
fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
Was it the fourth quarter? Okay.
They scored all those points with 7 minutes left.
Yeah. So, it looks like it's all over but the crying. And then, hey, do we got time to run Wasp? And then all of a sudden, boom, here we are. And, that's how instrumental the play is. Years later, we still remember that phrase. I have seen Kansas City do some miraculous crap when their backs are against the wall and they have nothing left to lose. And I think we're right there.
I'm going to give this a smaller butt than I would have given the one before. I still don't. I think that this team is obviously better than that 2023 team. And going back to the previous butt, think that their biggest problem right now is, and he admitted it, is Patrick Mahomes. And I hate saying that, but just going back and watching some of the tape from the game, yes, the play calling is stale. They need to change some things around. They did some weird stuff in the game too, especially at the end of the game. Like that pass to Brashard Smith was weird. And there was one play where it was 19-19, and they let off a drive with Rashee Rice in the backfield and Kareem Hunt at wide receiver.
I was reading something today, and it's on the internet, so it has to be true. People were asking Andy Reid, why are we abandoning the run game? Why are we going so pass heavy?
He said, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
He said, well, sometimes plays are called as runs and end up being passes in this league. So what he's referring to is either Mahomes changing a play to an audible, or it's an RPO, run pass option, and he's not passing. I tend to believe it's the first. It's the latter. I think it's more Andy is calling RPOs, and Patrick may not be in the right mindset to be doing RPOs right now. And maybe Andy needs to take that away from him just for a game or two until he settles down, because it was the first, Mitchell Schwartz showed this. It was the first play of the game, I think. And Mahomes, it was an RPO he threw to Rice. But if he had handed it off, and Rice went for 11 yards, so it worked out great. But if he had handed it off, the offensive line literally had like 2 guys in front of them, and the linebacker was backpedaling because he knew it was going to be a pass. He was not on the first play of the game. They're like, there's no way this is a run. There's no way on an RPO. We know this isn't going to be. Yeah. So the linebacker was backpedaling. Kareem would have probably taken that for 20 or 30 yards. Like, so I think there's some of that. Mahomes missed Rice on what would have been an easy touchdown. And somebody showed that too. He's like 30th in the league right now on passes over 20 plus yards, which isn't great. And you can blame receivers for that. I don't. I think that is 100% on him. And if you look at the play where he throws it to Rice at the beginning of the game, and it would have been a touchdown. Rice had like 5 yards of separation on him. You just can't miss on that. Mahomes doesn't get his feet planted when he throws it. He is like kind of stepping, and he like just chucks it. It doesn't have his front foot planted. I don't want to just blame Mahomes. Part of me hopes it's Mahomes because we've seen him play poorly before. And when that's been the problem, there is no problem because he gets that figured out. The other problem is weird play calling. And fine, if it's RPO, stop calling RPO. Start calling straight run plays and tell him he can't audible out of them. Like Andy is still in charge of that team. He needs to take control. Back to whether can the Andy Reid? Yes, I think that this is a very small but because he's been here twice before, and both times they made the playoffs. So what's more likely? That the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice and an offensive line that's good, and maybe Pacheco comes back next week, but you still have Kareem Hunt, who's good, that their offense is worse than the Jeff Garcia 2006 Eagles? I don't think so. So to me, very small but. I think that, yes, Andy Reid has been here before, and that just proves that they will get to the playoffs. All right, so that's enough of that. We're done. Cody has prepared something for us that's going to be a lot of fun. Cody is obsessed with mascots, and so once a week on the show, we are going to highlight a mascot that he thinks you guys need to see, and I hope this works. We're going to try it right now. Let's see. Go to share, video file, share. There we go. Okay, so who are we highlighting this week, Cody?
This week, we are highlighting Blue from the Indianapolis Colts.
All right. Here is Blue. And here's my thing that I like about Blue is the humping. Here we go. Here's Blue. I need like music. Okay, so you like Blue hitting people in the face with pies. That's
well,
good.
In this case, it was a Raiders fan for the first video.
I didn't realize that.
I wanted to throw that in there because he just nailed a Raiders fan.
By the way, there's no way that's actually a Raiders fan, right?
Probably not.
No, that's an extra or somebody paid. Because why is nobody sitting around him?
Well, do you want to sit next to a Raiders fan? Because I sure don't.
Well, they do smell weird. All right. So the next one is against a Titans fan.
And this dude just gets blasted right back into his seat. He's like, look at me, look at me.
So does what is this? Why does he have this like green thing going on?
I think it was like a military. I think it was like the military thing, maybe like a
I see because the
service,
camo.
But
there's camo there. All right, so Blue Raiders fan or Titans fan. Pow!
Sit down, dude.
Sit the fuck down.
I'm done with you.
And then
Humpy.
It's the humping that is. He only does it to men, I've noticed, that he hits with pies, by the way. So is Blue gay? Is that what we're trying to say? Or would it look bad if he did it to women? Because that implies a sexual connotation to this that I don't think we're ready to talk about.
No. The honorable mention would be, so I picked 3 clips, and I went through several Blue clips with Laura because we love watching this dude. He's funny as hell. The honorable mention would be when they were doing the overseas game. He was actually next to a camera guy, and he was getting the camera guy to do the humpy thing too, while the camera guy was wearing the waist control camera.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny watching the camera guy trying to hump the air with that giant camera on.
Here we go. And the last one.
This one's got a couple of pieces to it, and this is why you never go to the bathroom with Blue around. So first off, some stupid kid doing that whole 6'7" thing that I don't know about.
I'll explain it to you.
He deserves a pie to the face, which is exactly what he's gonna get. And then just a Colts fan. And this, man, you get a kid coming out of the shitter. Like,
well, you go back in, Junior.
I will never use a bathroom at Lucas Oil Stadium ever if I make it out there because I'm paranoid I'm gonna walk out to a pie in the face
Uh,
and I feel like coming out of the bathroom is when I'm my most vulnerable and I'm just like you're tired, you don't have reflex, and all of a sudden pie to the face. You're
pie
like,
in the face. I mean, obviously it's staged a little bit, but if that literally happened, there's something humiliating about getting a pie to the face, you know? Because you can't get that mad about it. It's cream, it's whipped cream on a pie tin. That's all that is.
yeah,
And getting mad about it just seems like if somebody, like was saying, "Hey, your pants are too blue today, and you're wearing jeans." He's like, "What? Hey, your pants are too blue. What? What? Hey, blue pants, how you doing, Bluey?" Well, I guess that's the thing's name. That's why it popped in my head. But you know what I mean? Like, it would be annoying, but also like, I'm not gonna fight somebody over it. That's what getting hit in the face with a pie is. It's like, really? I don't.
I kind of feel like when that happens, you're just like, did that just happen? What the hell? Like,
Yeah. All right. So let me explain 6'7" to you. 6'7" was started as a viral video. It was at a basketball game, and they pan to this kid, and he goes 6'7", and when he does it, all the kids around him erupt into applause. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing that one kid yelled once, and everybody decided it was hilarious. Reminiscent of the chicken jockey Minecraft thing. All it is an excuse for kids to scream. The kids, when they heard chicken jockey, it was a cue to lose your minds and throw shit around the theater, all that. 6'7" is no different. It's just an excuse to go nuts and scream, blah, 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 blah. Some people have tried to link it to some rapper. Some people have tried to say, I think if you Google it, AI will tell you that it's, it means mid. Like it's, I don't know, 6 or 7. It's not what it is. It's some kid yelled out for whatever reason. Maybe the score was 67. I don't know. He yelled 6'7", and everybody around him went nuts. And so kids are just taking that as a cue to go nuts.
I seen someone link it back to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy today, where because 6 times 7 is 42, and like 42 is the answer to everything in the universe or something like that.
Yeah, no, no. There's no way that much thought went into it. And I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it's definitely not that. The crazy thing about 6'7" is once you are aware of the meme, you start seeing the number everywhere. You start hearing it everywhere. It will make you go crazy. Today, I took Finn through McDonald's to get some food. I ordered on the app. The number I got was SQ67. And when I said at the window to McDonald's, I go, they were like, "What's your mobile order number?" I go, "Oh, it's SQ67. Finn in the back goes, 6'7".
And then you're just like,
I just punched him in the face and knocked him out. Just knocked him. If you watch football, it seems like, yeah, you got 6 or 7 yards on that. Every play is now 6 or 7 yards. You got, oh man, that was good for. I mean, he kicked that from 60 yards. That would have been good from 6 or 7, 67 maybe. I don't know. Like it's one of these things. I think it's called giga searching, where your brain starts looking for patterns and it finds them. And 6'7" is one of them. So, I thought we would talk less about the Chiefs. Oh well. Cody, what's going on at Aikens PC Repair?
well, it's
the shorthanded Aikens PC Repair.
The shorthanded. Well, it's that time of year to start getting those stocking stuffers. As you are whizzing away your money at the big box stores, remember little stores like me, we carry the fun stuff like the battery packs and the cell phone chargers and the cases and things like that. We also do have some used phones for those who want to upgrade and maybe not spend new phone money, as we're all trying to save money going into the holidays. Also, our computer inventory is starting to come back up. I actually got a shipment of laptops getting ready to come in. So if you're looking for a new computer this holiday season, and look, I know everyone wants to hit the Black Friday deals. I get it. I don't do Black Friday, and my reason is Black Friday doesn't exist anymore, in my opinion. Some of these guys start their Black Friday sales at the end of October, and it's
Yeah.
like that's not Black Friday anymore. Like you take the fun out of it. So you know, we're just you come to us, we're your normal shop. We'll hook you up the best we can. You know, new phones, new computers, accessories, and if you do happen to find that deal that's just too good to be true, and you click on it and you end up getting your computer infected, well, guess what? We can help with that too.
There you go. So if you're having any computer problems, you need to get a new computer for Christmas at a great price. You don't need to wait for Black Friday. Just go to Aikens PC Repair in Belton. Go to Aikens PC Repair in Belton or AikensPCRepair.com. All right. I don't know. What do you expect for the Chiefs against the Colts this week?
Well, Daniel, what is it? Indiana Jones seems to be regressing into Danny Dimes. So,
Yeah, but they beat the crap out of who did they play last? God, I'm so out of it, man. This is so bad. Who did they play? The Titans?
yeah, but the Titans are like 1-9 right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, that's like beating up on the Raiders. You're not proud of it.
They play. Oh, they were off this week. They had a bye week.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
why we didn't hear about
That's
them.
why we didn't hear about them. They played Atlanta. They beat Atlanta the week before, but then they lost to the Steelers.
And the Falcons just got swept by the Panthers.
Right.
So,
And it was 31-25. So, you know, I don't know how much stock this season you can put in, well, they were good against this team or they were bad against this team. I just know that it's a home game. The Chiefs have been different at home this year, that's for sure.
yeah.
If they do pull off a win against the Colts, and I think they will, I think it changes the narrative. One thing I need to complain about real quick is I would just appreciate a little bit of consistency from the sports media. You cannot crown the Chiefs as the best team in the league, Colin Cowherd, in week.
Dude, that guy changes his opinion to Kansas City like I changed my underpants.
You cannot say Mahomes is the MVP. You cannot say they're the best team in the league and rank them number one, and then turn around 3 weeks later and say the dynasty is over and the reason why is because of Patrick Mahomes. It's two bad games. Like, Mahomes this season has had, I genuinely think two bad games and that's it. Because he wasn't bad against the Chargers. He wasn't bad against the Eagles. They lost that game because of Kelsey and the interception. He wasn't bad against the Jaguars other than the pick six, but he was actually really good in that game other than the pick six. He was bad against the Bills and he was bad against the Broncos. He's allowed two bad games a season. He'll turn it around.
And even if he was bad against the Bills and the Broncos, those were still both one-score games.
Good point. Yeah,
it's not like we got blown out.
That's a frustrating thing too, is the whole, you know, they're losing one-score games now. I'll just, again, with the consistency. If it wasn't impressive last year because they kept winning one-score games, why is the dynasty over and they're a shit team if they're losing one-score games? You know what I mean? If you can throw out winning by one score over and over again, if you can say that doesn't matter and winning by one score doesn't prove that you're dominant, then wouldn't that also mean that losing by one score means you're still a good team?
Look, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. And Kansas City is deep into its villain phase.
That's my favorite quote from Big Bird. All right, bye.